Oh, my butt's on fire. Oh my God. Oh, this workout's kicking our ass. Literally. If we encourage them to do that, they're going to be so much more likely to pick up a naturally good habit for themselves, but also to find that habit that's going to align with them the best. Well, good morning. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. It is an ugly day outside already. It's been raining for most of the night, and so it is so crazy humid here and hot as well. About 80 degrees in the gym and very humid, which is just not a fun combination. However, we do have a fun combination for this morning. It is leg day, and we're going to be hitting legs hard. I have actually been thinking about this workout since like yesterday morning. We did chest and shoulders yesterday, and it was a fantastic workout, but I found myself thinking about this workout even then because we get to use our Squatmax again. We're going to be using that thing and really pushing ourselves hard on it to see what we can crank out with our legs today and get this workout moving. We're not going to waste any more time. I know we're using our Squatmax, but I think you also know what I love to start every workout with. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get set up, let's get warmed up and moved on over there and start doing our ever reliable favorite hamstring. Gotcha. Now we're not doing the leg curl today. We're gonna do the entire workout on the Squatmax today. Hammies, quads, calves, glutes. We're gonna hit it all right here on the Squatmax. As you can see from today's workout, we're gonna be doing our stiff leg deadlifts that we've already done. We're then gonna be doing our squats right here on the Squatmax. I'm planning on 4 sets. I might go to 6 though, depending on how our quads are feeling. Our legs have been taking quite a beating these last couple days, these last couple weeks even. So we'll see how we're feeling, but I might go for 6 total sets just because we know our quads are gonna need some additional work in there. We're then gonna do our calf raises right here, and we are also going to be able to do our hip thrusts. Now, for these stiff leg deadlifts, I did rig up 2 rubber bands just to give it a shot. You probably can't see them. They are black rubber bands, so I do apologize, but the rubber bands are attached to the bottom here. 2 of them, I've got them wrapped around the pegs all the way around. So get a pretty good resistance when we're fully drawn all the way at the top. One thing I am noticing with this is that, as I mentioned before, I am 6'1", so I feel like I am right at the top range for how high you could be to still not pull the loading pin completely off the guide rod here. It would be nice to be able to go a little bit deeper, but if I'm standing taller, I might pull it off the guide rod. So we'll see what happens. I don't necessarily need to get full extension all the way up on movements like this, but I would like to be able to get just a little bit lower just so we can make sure we're maintaining that tension and not bottoming out. So I've been planning on making some risers, out of scrap 2x4 wood essentially to stand on. I'm probably going to build those with a little bit more haste now and just simply screw together, cut together, glue together, whatever, some 2x4 risers to stand on just to give us a couple extra inches, because honestly, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 total inches would be pristine just to get us a little bit of extra depth in the movements like this. All right, set number 2 here, 150 pounds. Added some more weight after that last set. They're feeling good, but we can do more. Let's do it. Yes. All right, we're swapping on handles just because my other one has a little too much material right here at the top where the clip goes in. So in order to remove the whole thing, I have to unclip the handle and then unclip it off of the loading pin itself. I'd rather just be able to unclip the handle with the carabiner off of the loading pin, whereas previously I had to, again, unclip the handle and then unclip the clip because it wouldn't rotate all the way around the handle, which was very annoying. The carabiner, that is, wouldn't rotate all the way around the handle. This should be a lot easier. There we go. Nice. Okay. Let's do it. Set number 2 here. No, set number 3. I've been thinking a lot about the responsibility we have in this world. I became a parent about a year ago, a little more than that, and there's obviously additional responsibility there when it comes to raising a kid, taking care of a kid, protecting a kid. But this weekend, we had the opportunity to go to a great event here in Cincinnati called Danger Wheel. And at one point, we were standing there right along the edge of the race course, and we had our son propped up on the barriers. He was watching these three-wheelers race down the hill. These adults riding big kid three-wheelers. It was awesome. And they raced all the way down in crash suits and go over ramps and stuff. He was having a blast. So he's yelling at these guys and gals, go, 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 pointing at him, just awestruck, the look on his face. And the gentleman next to me, probably at least 10 years older than me, I would wager, he was handing my son balloons, water balloons. We were throwing water balloons at the racers. It was awesome. And he'd handed my son probably 2 or 3 water balloons at this point. He hands him another one, and we said thank you. And he goes, no, thank you for letting me, spread some joy with these kids. He goes on to tell us how he's not able to have kids, but that he feels this responsibility to contribute to the raising of these children, to influencing them positively, and to also for himself, selfishly, be able to experience some of that joy that comes from just handing a young kid a water balloon and the way their face lights up with the ability now to throw this thing at somebody. It's unrivaled. I mean, the look on his face, he's not even 2 yet, but he knew. He was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I have power. I have a water balloon that I can throw at somebody. Now, he wasn't very good at the throwing, but he was still absolutely awestruck. And I do think that guy was right. We have some responsibility, right, as a community. I've thought about that for a while. I don't know why it hit me when a total stranger said it, but it did. I feel this need and desire to be a good representation for the kids around me, whether they are my friends' kids, whether they are strangers' kids. And I sadly don't think everyone feels the same way. I think some people, they don't really feel like they need to attenuate their behavior around kids. And I'm not saying, make the world it's something it isn't. I mean, shoot, I'll swear around the kids even. I think there's a time and place for it, It's just about teaching them. And it's about teaching them boundaries, when and where and how, and, the rules of life, rules of engagement. But I thought about this gym, fitness. And I thought about how we have a responsibility as well to model this behavior for them, to show them what healthy exercise is, what healthy eating habits are. And I think that's the key to all of this, is showing them the healthy route for these things. It would be so easy for us to show them all of these things that we love and enjoy in a negative light, saying things like, oh, just ate that piece of candy, got to do an extra 30 minutes of cardio. Oop, just ate that thing of ice cream, gotta go run for an extra 2 miles. Those are teaching kids not necessarily the right way that we want to be thinking about this. That's not to say that we can't teach them like, hey, we had a really big snack there. We got to be careful with our calories. We got to be careful with what we're eating. We don't want to consume too much, overconsume. There's a way to phrase it. And I don't know that off the top of my head, I know the correct way to phrase that. I need to do more thinking on that, on how to approach those conversations with my son, to teach him healthy limits, healthy habits and moderation, both in and out of the gym, but to also not shame him for wanting to enjoy life's sweet moments and sweet treats. You don't want to feel that guilt, like we made a wrong choice, that we're doing something wrong. As a kid, that can be so powerful. You avoid the things you think are wrong. I don't want him to avoid these things that are so great in life, but we have to instill in them an ability to moderate all of the things in life, regardless of how good or bad they are, so that we're not over-consuming, so that we're not treading down a path of not only overconsumption, but perhaps a path that becomes very difficult the longer we stay on to break a habit or break a vice that we may have indulged a little too much in. Even if that vice is lifting in the gym, there's a way to do just too much of that. We have to find ways to show them these healthy habits and to incorporate them in them. These kids are like sponges. My wife and I had our son in here this weekend when I was lifting, and every time he's in here, he learns a new pattern, a new movement pattern that he just sees me doing or his mom doing. So this weekend we had him doing a deadlift that I made out of a dumbbell handle, and he deadlifted 15 pounds. And it's amazing. It's amazing to see him do that. Now he's got some fake plastic weights inside, so we're trying to teach him how to do a curl, some other movements. I want to see him do a squat at some point, but he's learning these movements. He's repeating these behaviors and patterns. And he likes being out here. It's fun, right? He likes mirroring that behavior that we're doing, and that's what's fun to him, right? It's doing the things we're doing. And he's stumbling. It's not easy. Again, not even 2 yet, so he's barely got his balance. Little things can trip him up. Literally, he can trip over things, small imbalances in weight can really trip him up. But beyond that too, what's very interesting, and a friend pointed this out this weekend, is that these kids, they have perfect form when they do these things. These squats, when they squat all the way down, they have perfect form. And it's because if they don't, their balance is so bad, they're gonna fall over. They gotta have perfect form, perfect biomechanics for their body. It's amazing to watch them do that stuff. And so we've gotta just continue to not necessarily push them towards these things. I don't wanna push my son towards anything. I can't wait to see what it is that he wants to do and take enjoyment in watching him doing that, experiencing that with him. But in the meantime, we've gotta encourage them to do these healthy things that we do in our lives. Getting outside, experiencing nature, going in the gym, lifting, exercising in whatever form that might actually be. If we encourage them to do that, they're going to be so much more likely to pick up a naturally good habit for themselves, but also to find that habit that's going to align with them the best. Because maybe it's not going to be lifting. Maybe it's not going to be doing a whole squat day on the Squatmax here. Maybe for my son, his version of healthy exercise is going to be tennis or marathon running or soccer or rugby, or whatever that sport is, that athleticism is. There's so many different options, but by getting him in here, we're gonna expose him to athletics, to exercise, and that's gonna encourage, hopefully, a sense of wonder and curiosity into all the avenues that exercise can take place and athleticism can occur, which can be pretty damn amazing. So we're gonna do our first 3 sets here, regular, with the loading pin right underneath it. I did get the transformer pin the other day, so we're gonna try that in the second set of 3, because I've decided we are gonna do 6 total sets here, just to see what kind of difference that brings to us. It should give us more glute activation, but I wanna feel it. I wanna feel it, try it out, put it through its ropes here. All right, I've noticed that the bands have come off of this thing, so I gotta wrap them better. If I take the band, which is wrapped from left, around pegs, and then back on over. So again, start on the left, move to the right, and then back over to the left. When I did that, I took the top section of that and I put it on top of the loading pin here. I believe if I take that bottom section and use the bottom half of the rubber band that's wrapped around on top of it, that should stay on top of that band peg when it's at the bottom of the movement. But I think by using the top half of it, it just came right off on both ends there. Okay, we're gonna be using our loading pin. Very simple. It's got this little lock and key here. Just gonna place that through, lock it in, and now this thing's able to slide back about 4 or 5 inches. That means we're gonna be able to stand back about that much as well, which should get our shins a little bit more vertical here and allow us to activate more glute. Let's see though. Let's see how it feels. Here we go. It's rubbing a lot more, that's for dang sure. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure about that one. What I am going to do is lower it on this loading pin. We've got 2 sets of holes on one side that I can put it through, and 1 on the other, effectively giving us 2 heights, as 2 of those perpendicular holes are at the same height. This should be an inch or 2 lower with this pin, more so than when I was sitting directly over it. I felt like we were a lot more at risk to actually pull this off the guide rod, which is unfortunate. We'll see how this feels here. This should allow us to stand up a bit lower, but I'm going to be interested to see how it feels at the bottom of this movement. Should be okay though. Should be all right. It's a lot of responsibility helping raise these kids though, whether they are nieces and nephews, other friends' children, acquaintances' children, or your own, or even just strangers. That man really did spark something in me that's been there. It's always been there. I feel that. I have felt that. This responsibility to help raise the kids around us, contribute to their upbringing, not necessarily help raise them, but contribute to it. Help when necessary, help when possible, but contribute to their upbringing. One of the reasons I started this channel is I wanted to make it easier for people who came after me to find the information that they're looking for, to find the health, nutrition, and fitness related material that they're seeking, and to cut through some of the BS, because there is so much out there. And I want to be able to provide those answers for people, because I truly do consider my life to be a bit like a waterfall, where over time we're further up on that waterfall and we're able to contribute more and more and more to that stream at the bottom. There could be so many people trying to thrive and live off of that stream that we can help feed into. And we might start at the bottom of it without a ton of knowledge, a ton of experience, a ton of wisdom, but over time we climb up that waterfall and we gain more and more and more of that, and we're able to give more to not only those in the stream, but also those in the waterfall too. It's awesome. It's an awesome thing to be able to help people like that. And I really do view our ability to help children like that too. Think of all the waterfalls in your life that you're gonna be able to help a kid understand, grow in knowledge and experience and in wisdom, to learn from your failures, your shortcomings, whether that's trying out a transformer pin on a Squatmax or doing something crazy like rocket science. It's awesome. All right, second set here with this transformer pin. Lowered it. Let's see if that helps us feel a little more stable. A little bit. It's still wobbling around like crazy, but I think we're okay. Maybe I just need to back up more. Let's try it. There we go. Yep, okay. Yeah, that's definitely tougher. I am feeling it more back here. I definitely am. I think we're gonna have to reduce some of the weight on this though. I think with this transformer pin on, we're gonna have to reduce some of the weight. I'd still like to get a good 10 reps in here though. So we're gonna do this last set without the transformer pin. And then next time I think we'll do a full amount, all of our sets with the transformer pin, work our way up in that weight and really find where we can take our reps and our weight with the transformer pin. One thing is for sure, it is hot and humid, man. Wow, am I dripping. Whew. All right, last set here. Come on, 225. Let's get at 10, 12 reps. Come on. Here we go. Oh, come on. All the way down. Good. Hell yeah. Whew. Oh boy. All right, that's interesting. Holy cow. I can't figure out a way to rig up getting a bit of a negative in that calf stretch there, but whew, I don't know that I need it. Wow. I tried using my elevators here, and this one slipped. I couldn't start on it. I didn't feel comfortable with that, so whew, I don't think we're gonna stick with that method. That's all right. Yes, fantastic, dude. Holy cow. Now, the nice thing about this setup is I have to lower it all the way down to the ground for these calf raises, but after this, when we do our hip thrusts, that's also where it needs to be, and I'll show you how I rig that up too. Oh, that's freaking awesome. Wow. You know, one of my things I hated about standing calf raises, at least in the home gym, is I didn't have a way to do them without effectively loading that onto my spine. And normally by that point in the workout, which is towards the end of the workout, I'm just done. I'm done with having things like that on my back. This is nice. This is so nice. My upper back feels fantastic. It's all just down here on my legs, and they feel like we've worked hard today, but like we can still continue to push them more than we could, and even if we had the safety squat bar on our back. It's amazing. All right, so for these hip thrusts, what I've done is taken 2 loading straps through the bottom of this loading pin. There are holes in the bottom of the loading pin. Not entirely sure what they're supposed to be used for, but the original Squatmax had a hip thrust pin. It was, I believe, just shorter than its pin overall, but it had a wider base as well. And that base did have holes in it that I had seen countless people use for hip thrusts. I imagine that's what these are supposed to be used for as well. So what I did is I took these blue loading straps that you should be able to see. If not, you've seen me use these blue loading straps countless times in the gym. And I wrapped them around them and hooked a carabiner on them. They can stay there. They are not in the way. As you saw, we used it the whole workout without them getting in the way. A little bit of clanging down at the bottom, but nothing too bad. And then those carabiners can hook onto my belt on the lowest setting, and we're ready to go. It really is that simple. And with this adjustable bench up here, we're gonna simply place this right here. We're gonna move our bench right here. Now, the nice thing about this, as I mentioned last time, it's on a quick lock pin, so you can simply raise it up and down. We don't need to though. I believe that's gonna be here. Should be good. Maybe one higher. You know what, we'll try it here, and if we need to, the nice thing is you don't have to release the pin to raise it. You can simply just lift it up. So we'll get up here, slip our feet through this, over our hips, and we rest against this, and we're here. Now, the seat does need to come up a little bit. So let's do that. That's much better. Now we can definitely get low. Stand up, and we're here. There we go. Okay, we can definitely handle more weight. So let's get some more weight on there. Feet back in there. Pad over the hips. There we go. Feet planted. And up. 50 more pounds. Let's go. Oh yeah, that's great. All right, y'all. I got 2 more sets of this to crank out. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up. Great job putting in the work this week. It's been a tough week for me. I'm sure it's been a tough week for some of you as well. It's been easy at times, but it's been equally hard. And we've got to take the good with the bad, the easy with the hard, the long days with the short ones. But let's remember every day that we have an amazing opportunity in front of us, that we're privileged to be able to pursue this hobby that we love and enjoy, or to grow that love and joy, and really put our all towards something that can better the people who come after us. The kids, the peers, the coworkers, the friends. The things we do can allow us to get a little bit better every day, and allow us to grow and improve ourselves enough so that we can then pass it along to those who come after us. And we can shape this world. We can make it better for the kids of today, those who are growing up, and what we're leaving behind. We might not be able to enjoy the shade, the tree that we plant today, but all those kids coming after us sure will. So let's plant some great trees. Let's do some great things and make sure we leave some kind of mark today and tomorrow and the next. See you guys next time. Keep at it, guys. I believe you do. I do.